Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, right here we got the 2021 ACER Predator Helios with the RTX 3060 from Amazon. It was just listed earlier this week. I just ordered it. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday, and it actually came a day early. And so here it is. It says the RTX 3060 and the 1 terabyte SSD. The base model for 50 more bucks on the Amazon listing this year. You can get a 1 terabyte instead of the half terabyte SSD, which I would definitely recommend forking out the extra 50 bucks. Full disclosure, I messed up the first shot, so I had to repackage it. So everything's already cut open. If you want the full effect, you can watch last year's video because the packaging is more or less the same. This year, actually, Amazon skimped. I don't know if this was actually shipped from Amazon or a third party, but instead of 2 exterior boxes, I just got 1. But this Acer box alone is still going to do a pretty good job of keeping it secure. The only real difference is instead of the little foam Predator case, you get, for some reason, an HDMI cable, which, you know, it makes sense if this was a monitor that they throw in an HDMI cable. And I mean, it looks like a nice HDMI cable, but I'm much rather have the little case. Who needs another HDMI cable? Here it is, same case from last year, which, spoiler alert, exact same laptop and chassis from last year. They didn't make any cosmetic changes. They're actually, it's the exact same chip, the 10th generation Intel i7, which, I guess seems kind of cheap, but honestly, the 11th gen i7 really isn't any better than the 10th gen. And with all the supply shortages right now, it's not the end of the world. I'm sure there's a lot more of the 10th gen available, so let's get this out quicker. So it's basically last year's, but for $250 more, you get the RTX 3060. And it's the same 230 watt charger. So I'm assuming we're going to test and find out that it's the same 80 watt GPU with boost up to 90-ish with the turbo on, with the overclock turned on. Now, one difference is there's a 64 gigabyte listing this year, which nobody really needs a 64 gigabyte listing. There was one guy in the comments, he was like, hey, does this support 64? I said, according to Acer, only 32. I said, what do you need 64 gigabytes for? That's obscene. He said he had some sort of financial job. I don't know, it's day trading or something like that. So I guess if you're have a finance job or you're running a Minecraft server, you need 64 gigabytes of RAM. But otherwise, 16 is honestly kind of the sweet spot as far as RAM. Alright, let's go ahead, fire it up. The $250 increase is definitely a little bit of sticker shock, but you have to consider that in 2020, Acer didn't increase the price any at all. It was the exact same, $1,200 just to 2019. And if you look at the market, a mid-range laptop with a 3060, $1,400 is very reasonable. The cheapest laptop right now that I know of with the 3060 is the Asus TUF-15. It is actually, I want to say, $1,100 for the 3060 variant of it. closest direct competitor is the MSI GF65. It's $1,300. Personally, I like this better than the MSGF65 Thin, and we'll see how the testing goes. The HP Omen, if you go to HP's website and configure, I mean, the i5 with the 3060 MSRP, I think it's like $1,700 with 16 gigabytes of RAM. So, I mean, it's a reasonable price, but I still think it's a mistake from Acer. I don't know. I think $1,000 is kind of like that budget, you know, unless people are like looking for a dedicated gaming laptop, they don't have a desktop they're going to be using. I think $1,000 is kind of their budget, and they say, oh, well, for 200 more bucks I can get something a little bit more premium. They're willing to stretch their budget, but I think $1,500 is just kind of going to put off a lot of people, especially maybe parents that their teenager wants a gaming laptop. You know, they're probably going to realize they're going to have to spend, you know, at least $800, $1,000, but $1,500 I don't think they're going to go for. So let me know what you think in the comments. What price do you feel comfortable spending on a gaming laptop, and what's your budget? Right here's the Predator Sense software, identical to basically every other Acer that has Predator Sense software. You can open it like a normal program, or there's a little quick button right here where you can control your lighting, your fan curves, view your temperatures, all that. It's pretty much self-explanatory. One thing to really watch out for in here is if I can get it to stay focused, LCD overdrive. If you turn that on, that's gonna increase your response time and get you close to that advertised 3 millisecond response time. Why you would want that turned off, I have no idea. Obviously, you don't really need it unless you're playing like a first-person shooter game or something like that. You know, it's not important. Your response time is not going to matter that much, like for more of a cinematic game or doing normal computer stuff. But if anybody can tell me why you would want that turned off, please let me know, because I'm honestly curious why it's not just on by default. I mean, I know this isn't the only thing like that. There are other monitors that have overdrive setting you have to turn on. They're gaming monitors and stuff. I'm working off of very slow internet right now, a hotspot. So I've only got one game downloaded that we're going to do a quick benchmark on. It's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And I literally just ran this with the drivers are up to date on both lists, and my laptop I use that has the 2060, and on max settings with DLSS on, which is what we're testing here, the average FPS was 78. So we're gonna hit the turbo button and run the benchmark. Okay, funny story. I started the benchmark. I don't know why my phone's having a seizure trying to focus on this screen. I started the benchmark and I was only getting like 30 FPS, and the graphics card draw power was only reading like 30 watts. I was like, what the hell is going on? I spent 10 minutes troubleshooting, and finally I figured it out. Steam decided I actually went to stream Shadow of the Tomb Raider from this guy's older brother that's sitting behind me here. So we fixed that, and then I was pleasantly surprised to see, without the overclock on, the GPU is actually, the TDP is 90 watts. So it's an improvement from last year. And then if we push the turbo button, it pushes it up to 100 watts. So the bad news is it's not going to be It's not a perfect apples to oranges comparison of the 2060 and the 3060, but so on highest settings, the 2060, the old Helios, got 78 frames per second. Highest settings, the new Helios got 86 frames per setting, and that was just running, but I didn't have the turbo turned on. With ray tracing set to high and the turbo on, my FPS was 2 better than what you see right there. It was 60. So overall, I was very skeptical of this based upon the same processor, no cosmetic changes, no update to the ports. You know, it would have been nice to see them at USB Lightning capability. So I was skeptical. 250 more bucks for a 3060, but you are getting up to a 90 watt, which at this price range, getting a 90 watt 3060 is definitely the best on the market right now. Okay, so I'm going to try and benchmark. I'll get more games downloaded and get a new video edited and hopefully uploaded by next week. Alright, if you have any questions, as always, be sure to let me know below. Thanks for watching.